Test. This is a test. And no, this is not a test. We are reading off Test theme song because it is absolutely insane to start off episode 4.
Honestly, before we get into like podcasts and stuff, it's like 20 minutes of us just sitting in the chat, just
we literally were in
random
here
garbage.
We were literally in here for like an hour before this. Like we said,
Yeah.
we said we were gonna start at 1. Now it's 2:17.
Like we went from WWE themes to like Matt Hardy slapping tornadoes to high school football. We've been all over the place in the last hour.
And we decided that reading Test's theme song was the best way to start this because it has such lines as freaking pull the line and go for the high school sock hop, give up because you and I know, conceit to the parasol, yo, bring your name on the go, freaking here we go, bring your name on the go, freaking for a jack off you can go. What was Jim Johnston doing? Was Jim Johnston the one that wrote this? I can't imagine so.
He was probably high.
Anyway, before we get any further off the rails, welcome to episode 4. We're trying something a little bit different this week, so just bear with us. We're trying to condense our episodes from an hour to 45 minutes-ish, or at least under an hour somewhat. So we're going to try to speed through the results here and just kind of talk about the main beats that we want to talk about and feel like you should know or whatever, just pretty much whatever we're feeling. And then we're going to try focus more on some sports stuff today, but as always, I appreciate you for listening. If you've listened this far, plenty enough for us. 2 minutes in, that is all the time that we need. Of course, we'd love for you to keep listening, but without any further ado, let's get into our results for the week. First main show we're going to cover is Dynamite, which I'm telling you, we got to flip these because Raw and SmackDown have had more happen the past couple of weeks than Dynamite and Rampage, but it should make it a lot easier. I see you going like that, saying what?
I didn't say anything.
I'm talking match card. I'm talking straight like just sheer amount of stuff.
Quantity versus quality, my friend.
The dumpster fire in the back.
You telling me Hunter's not putting out quality content?
Say that. I'm just.
You definitely did.
You're saying
you definitely just said that.
I'd much rather have Juice Robinson versus Jon Moxley rather than Drew McIntyre wrestling twice in one night.
I would rather just have Dexter
fickle.
Loomis the whole night, but
fickle. You're one of them calling for Drew to come back, and as soon as he does, I want to watch him wrestle twice in one night. You're muted.
I personally loved his run on the indies and stuff. I enjoyed him there, very much so.
Galloway.
Well, either way, let's get rolling here. Start off Dynamite. We had the JAS celebration for Jericho. That set up a match for next week, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember off the top of the head who it's against. What match did that set up? Do either of you know off the top of your head?
I can look.
Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson, I believe, is what got set up.
Well, either way, I thought a Jericho match got set up. Either way, regardless, we'll move on here. Bryan Danielson defeated Matt Menard. MJF got jumped by Wheeler Yuta in his own personal little press box. Moxley beat Juice Robinson. And then Saria, however you say her name, Paige, got absolutely just bored. Just bored everyone to death. Not a good promo. So from Dynamite, what are the high points you guys would like to hit?
Daniel Garcia pretty much turning against the JAS. As I said, it was a build-up that was happening no matter what. We all knew it. We could all see it. I'm just happy that it happened. I hope Jericho loses the title soon. I think it's Danielson versus Jericho for the ROH Championship.
You are correct, by the way. I did see that I looked at the wrong match. I personally would like to talk about the Bandito Jericho match that main evented. That was a banger.
It was.
It really was.
There wasn't a lot of misses besides the very boring promo that happened. There wasn't a lot of misses that happened on Dynamite, honestly.
We're getting spoiled from good shows. We haven't had, the bad 205 Lives or anything like that to talk about.
NXT Level Up.
We've been spoiled by really good shows.
We honestly might have to start covering like B shows just so we can talk about how shitty AEW Dark Elevation is. Bro, I'm telling you, one random day, I was sitting there and it said AEW Dark. I was like, all right, shit, I'll give this a try. Bunch of fucking no names. Like, I didn't know anyone that was on the show. And it literally was like an hour and a half. It was literally just an hour and a half of like squash matches. Like, come out, 2 minutes later, someone won. And it was literally just a cycle. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, it was terrible.
It's everybody that wants a contract in AEW. They put them on there against well-known people sometimes. And then they will have a match and be like, oh, maybe they can get signed onto a contract. It does not work always. Really does not. That's why Parker's there. I gotta stab him every time. Every week. Every week.
You need to quit on that hate.
No.
You need to quit on that Parker Bordeaux hate.
No.
Chad's gonna give you a...
Yeah.
He's gonna give you... He's gonna hit you with like a sweet chin music or a people's elbow or something.
You hit him with the chair and break the chair like you did to me a couple Christmases ago. You were there for that.
Yeah. See, the tough thing about being a wrestling fan is like, I'll ask my friends to like hit me with a steel chair or like, yo, I want to jump to the table. They don't get it. They aren't on the same like commitment as I am. Like I will fully take a steel chair across the back.
I say, Chad hit me with a chair a couple Christmases ago and it broke the chair.
Nice.
Like, anyway, anything else from Dynamite since we're trying to speed these shows up?
I really hope next week we hear from Saraya, and I hope it's 7 times better than it was this week because it was bad this week.
That was just purely.
Yeah, I don't think you can get any worse. So
it made her seem like she was
just
boosting
up from here.
A division she had nothing to do with. In my opinion, she boosted up a division and acted like she was a part of it from the beginning. That she said that Toni Storm was the best women's champion they had there. Forgetting about Shida, Britt Baker had a very good run. Thunder Rosa's not had the best, but she still had some pretty good matches for the title. It's a lot of the things she was saying was just absolutely nonsensical.
Storm Deeb put on a pretty enjoyable match, by the way. It was a good watch.
That was a good match, though. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's everything I have from Dynamite.
Right, say we're getting slower and slower on the weeks here.
Moxley and Juice is always good, but that match is going to be good whether it's on New Japan, AEW, the parking lot of a church down the street. It's going to be good anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, if that's all we got from Dynamite, on to Rampage here. The Acclaimed beat Private Party and the Butcher and the Blade. Lee Moriarty beat Fuego del Sol. Jamie Hayter defeated Willow Nightingale, who I'd never fucking heard of. And then Roosh beat John Silver. And that was one of the people I did see on AEW Dark. Was Roosh. That's how I know to say his name.
I just remembered something.
He's really fucking good.
I just remembered something from
Rampage. I think having him with Andrade de Idolo is very good.
Even though Andrade El Idolo is out of that, John?
It has to do with Andrade. There was a backstage promo, I think after the first match. It was after.
Don't tell me you think Andrade's the fucking White Rabbit.
No. Andrade, no. Thank God, no. No, Andrade is facing Preston Vance either on next week's Rampage or Dynamite. It's Vance's mask versus Andrade's career in AEW.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Korea versus Mask. It's legit. That's what it is.
What?
Preston Vance.
When did this happen?
It was like after the tag team title match, and it was just this weird backstage thing where his assistant comes up and shows that Hangman jumped down and avoided getting eliminated, but Vance got eliminated, and then Vance said, I forget what Vance even said, and Andrade says, I want your mask, and Vance goes, you can have my mask if you beat me, but if I beat you, I want you out of AEW.
Why the fuck have I not seen
Holy
anything
shit.
about
No,
this?
It was like the most
it's
random
legit.
thing ever. It was just there.
Yeah.
It was like, boom. It's like, okay. That's what
Bro,
this has been
Tony's
building
literally
up to?
becoming... Tony Khan is just... I don't know what he's doing. I don't even know. He's literally got the Vince Russo TNA style of booking here.
I forgot
Yeah,
about
this
it.
is Preston
completely forgot
Vance,
about it.
10 from
10 from the Dark Order.
Yeah.
Versus Andrade El Idolo.
Are we talking perfect 10? Ty
Yeah.
Dillinger?
No, it's 10 from the Dark Order.
He does have a dope mask, though. I mean, it looks awesome. But yeah, no, this is
So-
a match that just came out of
Yeah, that's
Tony Khan's
that's
ass,
so
pretty
fucking...
much.
No build or anything to this.
Well,
Just dropped
every-
on it so much I
every-
missed it.
Dynamite or Rampage has had Andrade coming at Preston Vance, asking him if he was going to leave the Dark Order or something. That's what I thought it was building up to. Preston turning on them, Dark Order splitting up. No, we have Vance for a mask versus Andrade's career. It's like the most...
And I will say, I love Evil Uno in this clip because I'm watching the clip right now. I love Evil Uno.
Oh yeah, it was the best. Both of their masks look good. I love Preston's mask. It looks really good.
Why aren't you throwing it up, Eli?
I missed it. I was grabbing my water bottle.
So yeah,
I mean,
that's huge.
Okay, but
forgot.
that is interesting because Andrade wants out. Andrade wants to go back to
Does he
Hunter's
wanna go
Wonderland.
back
Yes.
to Hunter, or does
Yes,
he want to
he
go back
does.
to AAA?
No, he wants to go back to Hunter because
Or-
Hunter. No, I don't see him going anywhere else but Hunter because Hunter was really the only one in WWE that kind of took him like seriously as a wrestler. Because when he got called up, nothing really happened.
Well, it started
Because he
to,
put out a tweet not too long.
destroyed.
He put out a tweet not too long ago that said "Free Andrade El Idolo" or "Free El Idolo" or whatever. So rumors are that he's going back to run
He
back to
wasn't
Daddy
one of
Hunter.
them that got poached or whatever that word is, right? Or was
There's
he?
some people
Tampered?
that we
Tampered,
still don't know.
tampered.
There's still some
Yeah,
that
we
we
don't-
don't know who. We don't know who.
The
all
only
got
three that
caught.
we know for sure were the three that we said last week. Which if you haven't heard last week, go watch it. We are not telling you again.
Way to make him go watch. I will say that I don't know what the hell they're doing with Hook and the Truth Busters, but I don't like it. Get Hook away from them.
I don't know
want-
what the fuck they're doing with Hook. They literally had the hottest thing in wrestling going, and like we
Yeah.
said, either last week or 2 weeks ago, watch the episode and tell us. They have this stop-start booking with them, and it literally killed everything with them.
Well,
Like
Dan
he's there for a
Housen-
week and he's gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we had
Dan Housen
Hookhausen, and
released-
then
yeah,
Hookhausen
we-
was gone.
Dan released
And
a
then,
tweet
yeah.
about being upset pretty much with his booking. And you could read into it many different ways, but that's pretty much the same ending you get is he was upset with his booking. I don't know if the tweet's still there or not.
There-
It was on Twitter for a little bit.
There's no
but
way Danhausen's upset with his booking.
It's
No.
like I said, you can read it different ways. but
He has no right to be upset with his booking.
I don't think I've ever seen anything of that.
I find the most odd end things. Like Andrade versus
Oh, and also Scissor Me Daddy Ass.
Oh yeah.
Scissor me, daddy ass!
The best thing in wrestling today.
You can't see our cameras, but I was scissoring.
It's the best thing.
But I mean, anything else from Rampage or AEW as a whole, really?
Nope, just the bomb I threw.
Someone take away MJF's Twitter before he starts a nuclear war. He's hot on Twitter all the time.
It makes it fun.
Yeah,
sometimes.
if you are on Twitter, I guess a listener, if you aren't on Twitter, that's probably the best place you can go get your wrestling just beef in general is on Twitter. Because you'll get super unlikely people like Liv Morgan and MJF posting a picture together for no reason whatsoever, just because. So, something I want to throw in here, I have it for like the afterwards, but I feel like since NJPW and Japanese pro wrestling is pretty prevalent in AEW, Inoki passed away yesterday, and that's a pretty big loss for the pro wrestling world. Even though Eli doesn't really agree with
it's not that I don't
most
like
of the stuff
him.
he did in his life, but
you make it sound like I don't like
the
it.
thing with him is he was such a. Well, you sound like you didn't like him in the
I like him.
in the
It's
Instagram
just
group chat, but
a lot of the thing is soiled for me because he was Jeff Jarrett in some ways of his booking. He booked himself as the main event majority of the time, or it was only for political gain. That stuff ruins it a little bit for me. He still has some great matches. Don't get me wrong. He trained some really good wrestlers. He has some really good matches there. It's just he overbooked himself, and that ruined some of it for me. He was still really good.
My thing with him is he was Japanese pro wrestling. He was Japanese MMA. Like he was just such a monumental figure in both of those, and just like Japan as a whole. That really the Asian scene in combat sports entirely, whether it's sports entertainment or actual mixed martial arts, that's going to be a big loss, and it is. So prayers out to the Inoki family and all of the Inoki fans out there.
He was very close to what I would consider the Japanese Bruno Sammartino. That's how much he meant to the Japanese pro wrestling. Yeah. Like, without him, there'd be no New Japan. There'd be no anything in Japan. Like, the dome shows, anything like that, it wouldn't exist to the magnitude it is. So, very, very sad to hear about the passing of a trailblazer.
There will be a hole there in Japanese wrestling and wrestling in other places too, because he not set up, but he helped develop a lot of different things that New Japan still has used to this day, and some other companies have used. So there's a large hole where Inoki will be dearly missed.
I think it's no stretch of the imagination to say that pro wrestling would not be where it's at today without Inoki as a whole. Not even just Japanese pro wrestling, but pro wrestling in its entirety would not be the same today without Inoki. So
agreed.
Moving on though, after bumming everything out, moving on to Raw.
Which used to be a bum out, but now is not, thanks to Hunter.
Yeah, no shit. Moving on. Sorry, my allergies are getting terrible. Bear with me here. Moving on to Raw. Bianca beat Io. Seth beat Ray in an actually really good match. Raw was strong this week. I just want to say that. Raw was strong. Gargano and Owens beat Alpha Academy. Omos in another squash match. We got Loomis in an Edmonton Oilers uniform.
It was awesome.
LeRae beat Nikki ASH, and Nikki ASH is about to go back to crazy Nikki.
Very happy.
Sammy beat AJ in another really good match, and then Riddle beat Damian Priest.
I think this is the first Raw in a while that
Bobby Lashley has high points, which is crazy to think.
Yeah, it's really weird because if you look at it, because Raw doesn't have a big title right now.
Yeah,
it is the U.S. title, and if you think about that, that's Bobby Lashley who's been carrying Raw. So props up
And
to
they-
Bobby
Yes, I know
Lashley.
it.
I know you're one of the other 7 followers you and Tony Khan we have. So props to
Tony
you,
Khan
big guy.
watches us and hates us.
Hopefully Abaddon heard us singing their praises last week, and Abaddon's a fan now.
No, yeah, Abaddon's number 3.
Deserves it.
I would go
TK,
crazy.
Lashley, Abaddon.
I would go crazy if Abaddon became a fan. But
4th is
and-
Vince.
and you say that about Raw not having a major title, and I feel like week in and week out, it's constantly the stronger show over SmackDown.
Which is really weird to think about because the Bloodline has notably made their home SmackDown.
I've already said the Bloodline's home is
Yeah.
SmackDown.
So it's very interesting how Raw can prove that you don't need belts to go put on a good show. Will it help? Obviously. But
The story helps too, and they
The-
excel.
the-
every
yeah, I was about to say
time
the
with
belts.
those.
Belts typically just give you something to build towards.
Mhm.
So if you can build good enough stories that feel genuine and real, then you don't need belts per se to just build towards. But I think the main things from Raw was Candice LeRae's back.
Yes,
That's about it. I mean,
Right.
really good matches, but as far as storylines go, pretty like just
the story-
progressive week.
yeah. It's been another step towards the towards Extreme Rules, which seems to be really big. It's going to actually be a real Extreme Rules, first time in like 6 or 7 years. And I will go back and say that I was wrong last week. I actually have turned and enjoyed this the Judgment Day booking with Dom and the steps they're taking with that. It's getting better and better each week, almost
is.
watching his descent.
Getting better all the time.
Yeah.
Used to be mad at
So,
my school.
on SmackDown they
Now
said
I
it,
can't complain.
and I don't know if it was made this week or last week, but the Raw Women's Championship match, the ladder match, apparently is the first Women's Championship match ever to be put in a ladder match. So that is
It's the first one-on-one women's.
Yeah, I was
ladder
about to
match.
say because they literally had. As soon as you said that, I thought of Lay Cool and
yeah.
who was it with that TLC match? It was Lay Cool and
Natalia and Beth
like
Phoenix.
Natalia and
Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, I
wasn't
think it
the
was
Bella
the
Twins.
Glam Busters or whatever they
Yeah.
were. Yeah.
But it's like that's Raw proves that they can make storylines. They have proven that their creative team knows what to do when given the right direction. And that was one of the things of, oh, I didn't even think about that. That's really cool. That's really neat because Bailey and Bianca are two people that you can stick in that ring and they will put on the best damn show ever. Anytime. I full on believe that. They are phenomenal. On the mic and in the ring, they have what it takes to put on a really good ladder match.
I know Cliff doesn't agree with this, but I think Bianca is the best in-ring talent that women's in-ring talent that WWE has right now. I'm not saying gimmick. I'm not saying promos. I'm saying what she does in the ring. And I think she's one of the best in the WWE right now. And she kind of carried it through that dark period where all these big women's names were getting released and Becky was at home with a baby and all this, that, the other. Because really, I've always been kind of a women's wrestling non-enjoyer. And watching her and Sasha at WrestleMania a couple years back,
That
not
was
this
great.
year, but the last year
Mhm.
or 2 years ago or whatever it
Yes.
was, when they main evented night
Gotcha.
one. Like that might be my favorite women's match of all time because I just remember sitting there and like genuinely enjoying it. So I think she is. I think she is like the best in ring performer that they have.
one of.
But
I'll give you a one of on that one. I'll give you one of. There are some that they have that could be.
who's better than her?
Maybe. Let me go through my.
In the women's
full
division,
list.
who's better in ring? Who's better in ring? I'm not saying as a gimmick. I'm not saying as a promo. I'm saying in ring wrestling.
In ring wrestling.
Rhea.
So we're not.
No, Rhea's. Rhea is not
I
better
might have
in
said
ring
that a
than
few years
Bianca.
back, but right now,
And this is coming
there's
from someone
nothing
who
proving-
absolutely loves Rhea.
Loves
I don't-
Rhea a little too much.
Yeah, we still have that deal 2 months if we get
Keep bringing that back.
get somebody.
I say.
Yeah,
I didn't say anything. However, I will. Speaking of Rhea, I'll transition to the main event of Riddle versus Priest. Sorry, Matt Riddle. He got his first name back. Matt Riddle
Yeah.
versus Priest. Honestly, I am enjoying seeing this Judgment Day, but I'm very confused because are we supposed to get like Judgment Day versus the Bloodline at Survivor Series? Is that what they're building towards?
I have no clue. That's what, like, I don't know. I know I've seen a lot of mock-ups for Survivor Series, and it's like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Ricochet, and someone else, I forget. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross. No, not Karrion Kross. Drew McIntyre and Ricochet versus the Bloodline.
I
I've
don't think
seen
they'll
some of
turn
that.
Sami
I think
this
that was a
early,
custody
though.
of Sami Zayn match, though. Kind of a joke thing. Also,
Hey, I
going
don't
back to
care.
your
Ready to hear
question,
that.
Austin was Io Sky. I think Io Sky,
No.
Io Shirai is probably one of the better.
She's not better than Bianca.
Don't just know me on that one. No, I'll say
I
I said
am.
Bianca's one of. One of.
I'm saying she is.
No,
There
I
is no
say
one
Io Sky
of.
is.
She's not
I
one
say Io
of the
Sky
others.
is.
She
is one of. She is one
She
of.
is the
No, she is not
EST,
There is not a
the EST in the ring.
That is B for bullshit.
She is the EST standing
No.
in the best
She's not in
in-ring
NXT anymore.
performer.
She's not in NXT
Bailey
anymore.
is also better.
No, she's not. Bailey, don't get me fucking
Get out
started
of
on
here
Bailey.
with that. Get
Bailey
out of
has
here
that
with that.
stupid
Now.
ass
Go.
belly to fucking Bailey suplex as her finishing
Exactly.
move. I don't want
Bailey
to hear
needs
it.
out of here. She's not in the conversation. Maybe for the mic work. She is really good on the mic, but no. Get out of here with that.
Apologies
Moving
to
on.
anyone listening to this
Apologies
on a super
to
high
headphone
volume.
users.
Yeah, no shit. I'm gonna blow out Chad's stereo in his truck. Anyway,
Man,
moving
we'll
on to
never hear the end of
SmackDown.
that.
Yeah, moving on to SmackDown. Speaking of Bailey, Bailey beat Shotzi. That's further on down the list, but I just wanted to segue.
Mhm.
Sami Zayn and Sikoa beat Prince Puma and Madcap. Drew beat A-Town down by DQ. Don't worry, we'll hear about Drew later. Hit Row 1. Rousey beat Natalya. Imperium jumped Sheamus. And then here comes Drew McIntyre again. Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Gargano beat Alpha Academy and A-Town down. SmackDown just felt like Raw light this week. Like, it literally just felt like a diet version of Raw, because I feel like we got a lot of the same.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying them slowly sowing the seeds of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn reuniting, because they keep giving us just little clips of their interactions.
Can I throw this in? It doesn't really fully have to do with anything on SmackDown. Did we cover that the Edge versus Finn Balor match is an I Quit match? I don't think we hit that last week. It's an I Quit match. So
I am very excited to see how psychotic those two can get in the ring.
well,
Think
if
we
you
see the
think-
demon?
Well, that's the thing. The latest
No.
ARG was about a demon, Azel. I know that it was.
Hey, we're getting to that later.
But-
later. Don't jump the gun
People
here.
have been putting. I'm just saying about Finn Balor. People have been saying that Finn Balor could potentially bring back the demon and put a stronghold on the WWE, which I wouldn't have a problem with. I think Finn Balor is one of the best wrestlers. Once again, I said one of the best wrestlers
Oh, I
in
think-
the ring and on the mic. He is.
I think he
really
is
good at what
too.
He does. And so I think if
I
they
agree.
give him that push with, he can stay with Judgment Day. I'm not saying he doesn't have to, I think him and Damian Priest and all that could still be good with the Demon Finn Balor. I just think it would be kind of good to bring back a character that was something that he created, not really just for NXT. It was kind of used in New Japan too. He would paint himself up and stuff. But
Cracked ass cat.
yeah.
Sorry, Cliff's showing us his showing us his cat right now, and his cat looks like a crackhead. Like its eyes are bulging out of its head. Its face is super skinny.
You know what's even worse though? This isn't even the crackhead. Give me a second, I can show you the one that's actually the crackhead.
But Finn Balor coming back as the Demon would not be the worst thing in the world. And I think with Triple H at the head of creative, it would be awesome for the Demon Finn Balor to return. I see the cat. I think it would be a step forward for Finn and everybody if the Demon came back.
See, and you know who else? Who else is back now? Since we're talking about people that are good on the mic, L.A. Knight is back, which is about damn time. Eli Drake, L.A. Knight, whatever you want to call him.
So
yeah,
to have him back.
Yeah, let me talk to you.
Let me tell you something.
Anything else from SmackDown? I mean, really, just everything we covered.
We didn't talk about Dexter. Fulfilling everyone's fears of actually someone being inside the mannequin.
Yeah, no, I have a new fear unlocked, and I'm not happy about it. I didn't like.
I mean, Loomis is just. I love Loomis. I love every time Dexter's on my screen. It's just they need to do something different with him. I guess the same thing every week. So we need to see some type of progression. Doesn't necessarily have to be a giant progression.
Rules match on Raw, I'll be mad.
I see it leading towards a match between the two at Extreme Rules. I just don't know what's the stip, what's the deal behind it. I don't know
what you could do, to be honest with you. I mean, both of them have been with zombies in WWE. But I don't know. That's like the only connection that people really have between the two is a zombie thing that happened. But it's... What is he...
Bro, the Seth Rollins theme song came on.
I just do the Seth Rollins dance. The cameras at some point of just...
I mean, realistically, I could...
Randomly.
I could upload this as a video on Spotify, but... Don't. No, yeah, I don't want to do that.
No one wants to see
not
this.
Yet.
So
not
break
yet.
The screen. If we hit in 3 months, we hit a sponsored deal.
Oh my god. Anything else on SmackDown?
No, I think SmackDown's pretty much covered.
Other than Panda.
Wait, hold on. Are we sure there's not some hair versus career match we missed?
Yeah, we sure there's not some.
I'm the one that typically sees those, and I didn't see it. So if I missed that, we know we've hit some weird ass shit here.
One thing from NXT.
Wait,
Steiner math.
Hold on though. There's 3 of us here.
I literally
we got a 33% chance of
33 and 1/3% chance.
I want to find that.
Samoa Joe.
I'm not going to.
The numbers spell disaster for you. Steiner math came back. Yeah. Samoa Joe. Snyder Math came back on NXT. Really the only notable thing that happened in my eyes.
Yeah. The Braun Breaker match is now a triple threat match, so they could be setting up to take the belt off of him, maybe? Without him eating a loss.
Also, I referenced it last week, the table for 3 of the Steiners. Really entertaining. I actually sat down and watched it. It's really entertaining. Scott Steiner is not in his peak form.
No.
But he like the stories that they talk about are pretty cool because he talks about him and the Macho Man just being super competitive about everything, and they actually talk about when they wrestled in Japan and all that. So it's a good watch. It's only like 20 or 30 minutes. So if you have nothing to do and you want something to watch.
They joked about Braun taking the moves too, doing it.
Yeah, that was like the first thing that they said.
It was.
But last major pro wrestling thing.
beat.
Yeah, I was ready to say it's just Extreme Rules here before we get into the general pro wrestling stuff. We're going to run down the card here.
It has grown considerably since the 3 matches of last week.
SmackDown Women's Championship, Liv versus Ronda. Raw Women's Championship.
Extreme Rules, right?
It's a ladder match.
No,
it's Extreme Rules. Yeah. Bianca versus Bayley for the title is a ladder match. Seth versus Matt Riddle in a fight pit match.
Hell yeah.
Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a strap match. I think Kross has a clear advantage there because he came out in the Gimp outfit last year.
He has experience.
Have you
seen his wife?
And then Edge versus Finn Balor in I Quit match. And then I think as of last night, they added the Brawling Brutes with Sheamus versus Imperium in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match.
What does that even mean?
It's the same match that Drew and Sheamus had a few weeks ago.
It still remains unclear what exactly a good old-fashioned Donnybrook is. The match that Sheamus and Drew had was with Shillelaghs.
I think that's pretty much all it is.
I mean, it's still got a stipulation, so it counts.
And then moving on to the grander scheme of pro wrestling. White Rabbit. Same. Why are you throwing up the Adam Cole, baby?
Speaking of Adam Cole, rumors are he will be back before the next AEW pay-per-view.
Rumors are that he actually is the White Rabbit. No.
No.
All jokes. As far as White Rabbit goes,
Austin is actually pen pals with Triple H, so that's how we know that.
Yeah, I'm actually in tight with Trips. I'm actually in tight with Hunter. So he told me, he said the White Rabbit is actually Eugene. So
if that happened, I would stop watching wrestling in general.
All right, hold on. We need to call it right now. Who is the White Rabbit, Austin?
Bray. I've said this since the beginning. There's only one. There's only one other. Rabbit? There's only one. Don't cut me off. This is my show. There's only one other acceptable answer, and that is Malachi Black. Those are the only two answers that
he's still at the AEW.
Even as of now.
But I don't
think
change. He's. Yeah, it could change. Man, they have been rumors that the character will be revealed at Extreme Rules, just they won't be in the building. Fightful Select has been doing that, and some other places have said it. I had to go with almost that it's Bray, because he's been hitting the gym. This video's all over the place that he's been hitting the gym. He's been working out. He's been doing... It's not Adam Cole Cliff. And so I think it could be Bray Wyatt. Honestly, I hope
we all know who Cliff thinks it is.
Damn straight.
It's Rene Dupree.
BC Eater World's Baron Corbin.
Terrible.
I believe it. He left with JBL like a month and a half ago. We haven't seen shit. It just makes sense.
You know what we haven't seen? Hang on. Something just clicked in my head. I was going through the ARG in my head. As the Demon's coming back, correct? Like, we understand that. Finn Balor. The last time we saw the Demon was, I think, Universal Championship versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
There was a build-up that happened during the match. The top rope snapped, and it cost Finn Balor the match. We never got a payoff to that, and it was supposed to be that it was The Fiend. We never had a payoff to that. So if the Demon is back, Finn Balor quits, the Demon comes back, we could potentially get the Demon versus White Rabbit, Bray Wyatt, or whoever it is, match finally. We could get a payoff to a long storyline.
I mean, Bray Wyatt would be the one to do that. He's a fan of long-running storylines. So
yeah, I enjoyed that for the very first part of the Fiend run, though, was that his targets, whether it was with the belt or not, was righting the wrongs of people who did wrong to the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. I loved that.
I enjoyed the people going back to the.
And then
old
got squashed by
gimmicks.
Goldberg and Saudi.
I don't want to talk about
We don't gotta
that.
point that out.
Speaking of Saudi,
No,
That
Brock-
is coming up.
Brock
About a month away
Lesnar is
now.
actually heavily rumored to be in Saudi Arabia.
well,
Really?
he can't fight
Yep.
Roman Reigns anymore. That was what the whole
What is he doing
last minute standing match was.
on the
I-
card?
I have no clue. It's just rumored as of now. But as far as future pay-per-views go, he is advertised for Day 1 Royal Rumble and WrestleMania.
He cost
Oh,
Roman
shit.
Reigns, and 8 Down cashes in.
That's what I'm saying. Like he can he can easily do something. So
But-
if he's heavily rumored, it can very easily work.
Okay.
And with him being advertised for all these major shows later in like early-ish next year, they've got to do something here fast. I mean, I
Brock
guess they
Lesnar,
don't.
Bob-
You can
Bobby
just
Lashley
Is
for
day
the
one
United States
before or
Championship.
after the Rumble?
day one is day one's the first day of the year.
That's the first time I've heard anything about day one. I don't know.
They had day one this year.
It's January 1st.
I was more invested in AEW at the time.
You're telling me you didn't watch Big E
No.
lose the title in like that fatal 5-way match because Roman got COVID and Brock couldn't face Roman at day one? You don't
Yeah,
remember
I
any of
didn't
that?
see No.
You didn't see the
How's that-
backlash of another black guy get champion that was WWE champion losing to Brock Lesnar?
I didn't see that.
It was all over the place.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
they've got,
I guess they don't
2
have to build
months,
anything
yeah.
up. I guess they can just throw Brock Lesnar back in and he's automatically a title contender. But they need to
But
get the titles off of
he
him
can't.
somehow.
So wait, the
can't
Rumble's
fight
in
Roman.
February then?
End of January.
End of January. Okay.
You can't fight Roman though. That's what the whole Last Man Standing was. It was the last time that these two. would
I
face off for
I
the belt.
fully get that. That's why they need to get the titles off of Roman somehow, or get a
I
title
s-
off of Roman.
Any
Yeah,
of them.
There you go. A-Town down. They separate the championships. Brock Lesnar beats Austin Theory to a pulp.
A-Town down,
And
baby.
A-Town down goes down.
Ooh. Imagine if Theory cashes in and Solo costs Roman.
Or Sammy could.
Well,
That could set up your
see-
Survivor Series.
Yeah.
the light went off during. I don't know. I could see Solo costing him, and it not being Sami Zayn, the turncoat that Jay's looking out for, it being Solo.
They can go any direction right now. Hunter's put himself in a really good spot.
Yeah,
Creative
for the
wise.
first
He
time
fixed
in a
it.
long time, I
He
feel
fixed it.
like I actually feel optimistic about the future of the title.
He fixed it. He finally found a way to fix it.
Talking about people not being fixed, that ends our pro wrestling stint of this, and moving on to our just general sports. Tua got
Oh my God.
absolutely
He shouldn't have been there.
killed.
He should not have played. He shouldn't have played. Coming
And
from
I
somebody
guess
who's
it's
had-
still
I've had 13 concussions, so I'm going to quickly say my piece on this, just real quick. He shouldn't have played.
13, as
13.
in
I
1,
had
3?
I've had 3 from football, 4 from soccer, and everything else was just me being stupid. And yeah, I'm like CTE numbers at this point, man.
I say, bro's brain is rotting as we speak.
It.
I wrote a paper over CTE,
Yeah,
actually.
Concussions are not something to mess around. I especially don't mess around with them. I take it easy and I take care of myself a lot better than I did. Obviously, I stopped at 13. Sunday he
Yeah.
got hurt. He shouldn't have been there. Thursday he should not have been there. I would have had the Dolphins take a couple of losses. Tua gets better, and then they make it to the playoffs. And now they have doomed themselves. Because they didn't want to take care of one of their players because they wanted to stay undefeated, and the Dolphins screwed the Dolphins.
I mean, he did ride the plane back and apparently was watching movies and laughing. So,
But every report has said, and they were very specific about it, he was moving his extremities. Because if you look, his fingers are... Something was happening in his brain. I don't know what it was, seizure, whatever.
well,
Something was
no,
happening.
when you get when you get significant neurological damage and your like hands and fingers and arms lock up like that, it's
That's
a sign
neuro.
it's a sign of severe neuro damage.
It's
So
he will never be the same. He's not gonna go Antonio Brown, I think, but
I mean,
he's-
shit. You look at NASCAR of all things. We have 2 drivers who are going to miss Talladega this week because of it hits into the outside wall and the
Is
concussion
Kurt Busch
protocol NASCAR
still not back?
has. Yeah, he's still out. He hasn't raced since Pocono.
I was about to say he hasn't raced in a
So they're
while.
taking care
Yeah,
of their
he
people.
forfeited his playoff spot.
they're taking care of themselves and the people.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing
Well,
to
it's
do.
also NASCAR's concussion protocol proving it's stronger than the NFL's.
Well, they
And
were doing
Alex
so well
Bowman-
with the concussion protocol, though, and that's what pisses me off the most about this is you had a star player who, he got drafted 1 season ago, 2 seasons ago. He's not been in that long. And now you have him. He's not going to be the same after this. There's no way he will. He has damage somewhere in his head, and he's not going to be the same. He's still going to be good, I believe. I do honestly believe he could still be good as long as his career is not over now. It irritates me because the concussion protocol was doing so good, and then you had this incident, and it's just, it frustrates me to no end. It was so ridiculous. He got hurt Sunday. He shouldn't have been put back in Sunday. They put him back in the game Sunday. Monday, you could have tested him. Tuesday, you could have tested him. Wednesday, you could have tested him. Thursday, before the game, you could have tested him. And instead, you play him in the game, and now you're out your star quarterback who, not even looking at as a star quarterback, you're out one of your players who you should be looking at as family, and now he has to go back to his family and be... It's so frustrating. Is just the word that comes to my head.
And I'm praying that the NFLPA finds something in their investigation.
Yeah.
Just to show that the Dolphins did fuck up on their end. But
Somebody did.
only other football beat I have, someone had to have. Only other football beat I have is that the Eagles are the only undefeated team. Of course, there's plenty of stuff going on in football, but the Eagles are the only undefeated team. Also, kind of do with football, I watched the Untold Manti Te'o Netflix docuseries thing. Really good. Really good.
Is it about what happened with him at Notre Dame and stuff, the scandal?
Yeah, how he got catfished.
Yeah.
That guy got screwed over.
It's a her now. Well, not Manti, the dude
I was about to say, he got screwed over.
Yeah, the dude that
Okay. I was really confused.
yeah, the dude that I thought you were going to say something else. The dude that screwed over Manti is transgender now. And it's funny because when they were recording the documentary, no one knew that. So they just kept calling him he. And they literally put a disclaimer at the beginning of both, because it's like 2 60-minute episodes, and they put a disclaimer at the beginning of both that none of them knew that Ronaya was identified as a transgender woman, just to cover their asses.
Wow.
But I was always a fan of Manti Te'o, even during the entire entire catfish thing. I think I was still a fan of him, and just getting to hear everything that happened and both sides of the story, and just getting to see him and be able to air his grievances, I guess, was really cool. It's if you have Netflix, I definitely would go watch it. It's 2 60-minute episodes. You won't regret it. It's really, really good. The world owes that man an apology.
Yeah.
But a couple other sports things here. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, he was really good. He was really good in Notre Dame, and he had a shot, and no NFL teams really wanted to take a shot with him after that. And he was a promising superstar for football, and it ruined his whole career, and it sucks. It absolutely sucks that that's what happened to him. That's all.
Yeah, and you can also see like the decline in his play as well, like because it chronologically goes through the story, and literally during like 2 days before the BCS championship that they were in his senior year, he got a call and said, "Hey, it was all fake," because his girlfriend, who he thought was dead, called him, and so it like they talk about that and they show how he played, and he talks about how when he got to NFL, he had like a shit ton of anxiety and everything from it, and how it basically killed his career. Because every time he was on the field, it wasn't like, oh, like this is my domain. It was like he was always questioning himself. Like he never questioned himself when he was at Notre Dame, but as soon as he got to the NFL and after everything that happened, he was constantly questioning everything that he did.
Stuff like that can,
which
really
is, it's just super super sad to see and hear, and I really thought it was good. I think I might go watch the other Untolds now.
We talk about the highs in like wrestling and stuff, but there's some things back behind the doors of the locker room and everything else that you kind of just don't see or get to hear. And when it kind of comes out, it's, oh, this sucks. You always think everything's fine, but then you finally get to hear and see what's wrong and what actually they're human. A lot of people don't realize that these people are human too. And stuff like that kind of goes, oh, well, I kind of can relate, which is awesome. You can have somebody that you can look at and relate to and see how they got through. It
humanizes these people that we think are bigger than.
Yeah, and it's great to have. It sucks. I'm not going to say it doesn't, because it sucks, but it's great to have ways of kind of humanizing these people and seeing that, oh, hey, they went through this, I can too, and it helps. It does.
And moving on here, we're definitely going to get close to the hour mark, but
it's fine.
It's whatever. Just a couple quick things here. Aaron Judge hit 61. Yankees got like a handful of games left. Yeah, honestly. Fuck Barry Bonds on that fake record. We don't need it. But
man, he's spitting the hot tea.
But Judge hit 61. Yankees have a handful of games left. He has the chance to become the record holder in the AL, not the entire league. The entire league is held by Barry Bonds, unfortunately. But in the AL, it's 61, which he's tied. And then the Marlins clinch their playoff spot. They haven't. Yeah, we just talked about this pre-show. Why are you looking at me like that? Mariners. My bad.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, Mariners. My apologies.
20 games back.
Yeah, the Seattle Mariners on the complete other side of the country.
There we go. The Miami Marlins.
Yeah, clinched their entire a playoff spot, first time since 2001. When 2001, Ichiro was a rookie. So good on them.
I think Griffey Sr. was there when that happened, right?
Was he your senior or junior? I can't remember which.
I want to say junior, but I'm probably going to be wrong.
Then the last thing I want to touch on here, Goodyear can't make a tire to save their fucking life.
No.
The NASCAR tires at Texas were literally like imploding on themselves. And it doesn't seem to have gotten any better because at the Talladega truck race, literally a tire just caught fire randomly and put the entire truck into flames. So, about damn near said Netflix. NASCAR needs to get their shit figured out with that. That's terrible. You can't race if you don't have a fucking tire to race on.
They're spending all their money on a reality TV show. Have you not seen that?
Oh, I have.
Yeah, the race, keeping up with the Dylans or whatever.
That and Race for the Championship, and it goes into the lives of everybody.
But, I mean, that's all we got for this week. Mm-hmm. We'll come in under the hour mark. We'll just shave off a few minutes here and there, I guess, every week.
We'll get there.
Eventually.
I feel like
we're only 4 weeks in.
We're getting better.
I want to say, I feel like the episodes, though, where we go in detail about stuff, kind of like the Tua thing and stuff like that, it's fine. because we're kind of discussing some important things, I guess you could say. But
tune in to episode 5 next week for our first ever predictions. We will be predicting Extreme Rules.
We'll have to record it earlier in the day then, because it's on a Saturday.
It's on a Saturday, so we'll just have to do it early Saturday. I think it's like pre-show starts at like 5 or 6.
Probably 7, like normal, and then
I don't know. I'm on Central Time. Y'all are on a different time zone than me.
I'll have my card ready.
So I mean, look for that next week from us. Also, shameless plug once again, Ball State University on Twitch.
You can see my man hit the gritty.
Yeah, you can see me hit the gritty. We don't have a stream next Wednesday, but we have one Tuesday at 7:45. So if you are not doing anything, feel free to stop by. And any parting words from you two?
Stan Hansen's the best. No, honestly, this week I'm going to say take care of yourselves, honestly. The Tua thing has had my head going since. Take care of yourselves. Try and take care of if you're on a team, take care of your teammates. If you're listening to this, just take care. Because it sucks. Shit like that sucks. So, just take care of yourselves.
Cliff?
Upon the day of recording, it is October 1st, so I would to wish everyone a very, very happy spooky season, as we are now in the 31 days of Halloween. So everyone have a very fun and adventurous spooky season. You know what's even going to be spookier, though?
The year
of 2024.
With Stan Hansen still being the best?
Get us out of here, Austin.
2024 is the biggest year of Cliff's life. Maybe he'll finally be married by then.
Hey, don't say that too loud. She's over my shoulder right now.
But that's all I got. That's all we got, really. Final parting words for me, at least. Like Eli said, take care of yourselves. Be kind to one another. One of the most courageous things you can do is get help. Last month was Suicide Prevention Month. Just because it's not Suicide Prevention Month doesn't mean you can't go get help. It's never too late. Always reach out, talk to someone. A lot of hotlines. Just remember, you're beautiful, you're loved,
you matter.
All that good stuff. You matter. I think that's all we got here. This has been Cliff, Eli, and me, Austin Guerin. We just remember we always got you covered because we're your ace in the hole. Catch you down the road.